We're really talking about not a budget shortfall of 139. We're talking about a cash shortfall of 139. Some of it does relate to budget. Some of it is unbudgeted. So we are working to try to deal with that. And I'll just say again, we're trying to do everything we can to whittle that number down, working closely with CCNC, working closely with everyone else trying to whittle it down. There's only two ways that I can attempt to cover that entire hole within the Medicaid budget, and one is an across-the-board rate reduction of roughly 18%, because you have to do that big of annual reduction to achieve what we might save in the last 3 months of the year, or virtually eliminating all optional services other than pharmacy, which would not even get us to the $130 million. And again, I appreciate Representative Dollar's remarks, but I really need just guidance from you about, do we want to go down that road? If we do, I need to give notice next week and get started on that to try to get any substantial savings in the current year. From our perspective, we certainly do not want to see any, across the board rate reductions because of what it would mean, potentially mean for the system. Given that we've had rate reductions, much larger rate reductions that occurred back in 2009, which sometimes people sort of lose track of that. They shouldn't lose track of that. We get back to what's really, in my view, more of a one-time issue that is driven primarily by payments that have to be made for liabilities that were incurred prior to the current administration and certainly prior to this General Assembly. And in that regard, as the department continues to work to find other savings, as you continue to analyze and we continue to analyze the report that we received today from the MCAC and take a look at those potential things, and as we move forward in the budget year, we're only a third of the way through at this point. As we get a better handle on what the actual number is, I think from our perspective, we're going to we will certainly be working with the department to see where we can come up with a sufficient number of one-time funds to resolve any cash problem for the current fiscal year, and do it as you've suggested and as we certainly support, a way that does not affect the quality of our Medicaid program.